We are in the last chapter of Galatians 6. And in Galatians 6, Paul is basically just continuing to explain how to conduct your life from the perspective of grace. We see in chapter 5 that he changed his voice. And Galatians 5:10 says, I have confidence in you through the Lord, that you will be none otherwise minded, but that he that troubles you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he is. And with this in mind, where it talks about bearing your judgment or actually having the fruit of what you believe in manifest in your life, he goes on into chapter 6. But from chapter 5 verse 10, we find that he, he basically, by faith, and he says here, I have confidence in you through the Lord. So he says that through the Lord, through faith in the Lord, I've got confidence that there is a change taking place in you. And from verse 10, chapter 5 verse 10, he goes and he starts to talk about how they would love one another and how to walk in the Spirit and what the fruit of the Spirit is. Now, not rebuking anymore, but basically speaking to people that in his mind now, and I would say by faith, he believes is for him, and now he instructs this group of people that would grab a hold of what he has said in the letter. And that is what we have to understand as we go into chapter 6. Because in chapter 6, he starts off by how to correct a brother that's in a fault. And then he says why. And then he goes on and he talks about how to deal with preachers that would come and minister there in the future, how to deal with that doctrine and what to keep in mind. So chapter 6 is basically the end of the letter where Paul, I see more light in the letter, I see happiness in his heart, I see his hope now expressed, and I also see him as if he is now speaking to people that got it. The whole of Galatians, he starts off in chapter 1 in defense of his gospel, also in defense of his apostleship, and where he got his apostleship from, explains everything, goes through, I would almost say, a little bit of an emotional writing. And as he goes through this, wherein he points out everything line upon line on what took place, how he got his apostleship and everything, it's almost as if I find in the letter he feels, well, I've said what I've said, and the reason, we're now getting into the reason of the letter, or the hope of the letter, and now he continues with this hope as if it is already fulfilled, as if some people has grabbed a hold of it, and now is giving the correction and talking about this restoration, how they should continue. This is what it's all about. So let's get right into Galatians 6 and verse 1.